Liverpool this summer have turned down 200 million in Mo Salah. That was the big question. It was on deadline day. Liverpool did have time to adjust, so you've got to forgive them for turning down 200 million in a player who is in his evening of his career. The big question here: how did you feel on deadline day with that bid placed onto the table? There have been very few characters, there have been very few teams that have turned down such a deal, and very few players that have turned down such a move. Were you scared that Mo Salah could eventually follow the money?
Well, ever since I started supporting Liverpool, way back from 2006, personally, I think I haven't loved any player ever since. I loved Luis Suarez a lot, but it was for a short period of time. Even Fernando is the same. I love those two players. I think it's only Steven Gerrard that I loved till when he left the team.
He had that kind of longevity.
Longevity at the team. But Mo Salah, I love Mo Salah to bits. So I felt so bad when I saw the news that the Arabs are bidding. And the fact that he is the most...
I like the way you call them the Arabs. The Arab man.
The Arab man.
Yeah.
So I felt so bad, and I thought that the fact that Mo Salah is a Muslim will hope
he might actually.
Because
I actually also thought Salah would be tempted. I thought he would be tempted.
And then maybe say, let me catch in this money. But he's I saw a tweet from his agent Remy Abbas. He was like, no, if Mo Salah was to leave Liverpool, then we couldn't have signed
a new deal. Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Last season. Yeah. So I saw some bit of professionalism, which I think most players are losing, and their agents. They are more so into money than football. But when you look at Mo Salah, he's a priceless player. He's a player that is irreplaceable right now.
At Liverpool,
you can't just go into the market and then find a Mo Salah.
So that's the big question. Liverpool looked, and you've got to give them credit because they held their resolve. An initial bid of 100 million, a second bid of 150 million, and a rumored third bid of 200 million, all turned down. That is too huge of a result. Right? They did well. But the big question is, if this money had actually come in earlier in the window, do you think Liverpool would cash in? And again, do you think Liverpool should have cashed in Salah? Those are two questions. Do you think they would have if they still thought we have 30 more days to the end of the window to replace it? And do you think they should have, cashed in?
Personally, I think type of ownership we have, I think they are more money oriented.
True. FSG is history.
We've seen them selling players that you could think by the time they were at the top of their game, and Liverpool. We saw how they cashed in for Philippe Coutinho, who was our best player by then, and we were on to into Champions League later stages, and they sold him in January. However, with Coutinho's case, that the player also pushed the move
as well.
But when you look at Mo Salah's side, Mo Salah was comfortable and he stick to his word. He was like, no, I am staying at Liverpool. I love this club and I love this place, so I am here and I am for Liverpool. So if the player says that I'm not going to go, but the club and then the ownership, I think if they had brought in this money a bit earlier
in June, June the 2nd,
yeah.
And if the money is on the table.
If we had started the transfer window, if the transfer window had just opened, and then the Arabs also bring in the big money move, then definitely I think Mo Salah wouldn't be a Liverpool player by now.
Yeah, I also kind of felt, because when I looked at it, I was like, why do you bring 200 million on deadline day? It doesn't make any sense. If you want him and you're sure he's a 200 million pound signing, why don't you just place this money in July?
With the player who is a club legend, he couldn't just leave the club and then like in the job. Because the club is planning on me. Whatever Jurgen Klopp is planning, he's looking at Mo Salah, and it's like Mo Salah is among the 5 leaders at the club right now. Yeah, he has just been chosen among the leaders, and then you leave the club in such a way. I feel it would have looked bad. And then if a legend like how they have termed him right now, for whatever he has done, he has been involved in almost 37% of Liverpool goals, and some parts also bigger percentage.
Liverpool have taken a long time without having such a top player, consistent, and he delivers every single campaign.
And he's also always available.
He's always available. By the way, it's something we underrate and underlook, but he's always available.
Because you can every time you look on the list, player his star is always there.
Yeah, for a top attacker, going against the most ruthless defenders, the most elite defenders, you've got to pick up some injuries. He just doesn't pick up injuries.
But he just doesn't pick up injuries. He doesn't get cuts. He's a disciplined player. He's always available whenever you need him, and he always stands out, especially on the big occasions. If you want to punch Man U 7, you would like
you call on to him.
He just give you an outlet.
Yeah.
So you want to punish Arsenal, Mo Salah will always be there. Yeah. So you want to punish Chelsea, Mo Salah will always be there. So somebody who rises up on the big occasions and then also even on small clubs. Actually, in the last 10 games, Mo Salah has been involved in every game. Like if he doesn't score, at least he makes an assist. And he has added that on his game. He does many assists as he can. Is no longer selfish. The other Mo Salah we used to know that he can, retain the ball even if he has to release it. Right now, Mo Salah knows when to release, knows when to score, knows when to not let other players go and occupy the forward areas. Then he remains back as an attacker or as an attacking midfielder. So definitely, such a player should be on the team, and I think Mo Salah also loves this club. Loves this club. Right now is among the top 5. All-time top scorers in Liverpool. So he surpassed Steven Gerrard. So we feel like Mo Salah is loved, and his statue will be built at Anfield, even if he leaves next in the coming summer. Definitely we will have left as a Liverpool legend.
That is what I want to tell you. To ask you, if Al Ettifaq or Al Ittihad come back next summer with 100 million, you think Liverpool will sell?
If it's more than 100, I feel like Liverpool will sell because they can have a big time to replace him or to plan for how to go about it. Unlike the bid that came in this summer
on deadline
day, which could leave the team actually disorganized, and actually everything that they had planned could have fallen through. But if they come in earlier in the next summer, but we don't know what is going to happen there.
Obviously, it could fall apart. And I've always told people that it could fall apart.
You don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, because when you look at the way how their modus operandi, the way how they are doing their things, it's not that that it's open. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. So a player like Mo Salah who might think about playing World Cup in the next World Cup, we know he missed out onto the previous World Cup, and he might say that I have to take my team at least for more World Cup, and then I have to make a statement there. So probably he would like to keep himself into a competitive league, because we know when you go to Saudi Arabia, it's like a retirement benefit. You go there for enjoying your retirement, so not competitive football. So we have seen the likes of Neymar, the big players, but we know how Neymar is so much into money.
And Neymar has failed to hit the expectation levels at PSG. And then he knew at this point in time, you've got to go make the money and just walk away with that.
The benchmark to Saudi Arabian league is Cristiano Ronaldo. But Cristiano Ronaldo went to Saudi Arabia when he's 38.
Absolutely.
Mo Salah is only 31 years of age. So Ronaldo was 31, but he was like at his prime. He was still fresh. Just left Real Madrid to go in Juventus, and he still did wonders from there actually. So at the age of 31, some players actually, we have seen many players. Look at Luka Modric, players who are talented. At the age of 31, they are like at the start of their career. Modric, when he was at 31, I think he had only 2 Champions League trophies. But right now he has over 5.
Actually, I think it's a modern day aspect of football now. The longevity players are having is mind blowing. So you look at Lewandowski, you look at Benzema, you look at Modric, you look at Ronaldo, Zlatan, Cruz. It's like these guys are playing in 2 separate generations. They're playing in 2 separate generations, and they've been at their prime in both generations.
And they're delivering even more than young players.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have done the same thing for over 15 years plus.
So Liverpool need the money. There's no question about that. And going back, without UCL, you might not have the kind of funds you have been accumulating in the past years. So if you get an offer, 150 million, you need to rebuild that defense. You need to bring in huge centre backs. And now we know when you're desperate, the market can sense that you're desperate, and you're going to pay 100 million for Caicedo, something like that.
Sure.
Do you think the Salah money, Liverpool should get the Salah money, accept it, and reinvest it in that defense?
I think with a player like Mo Salah and his professionalism that he has showed to the public, I think when we go into January or before the end of the season, definitely the Liverpool management should know that either Mo Salah is going to go or is going to stay. So within this period, even if before the transfer window is opened, you surely have to have looked for players who are going to replace Mo Salah. You have to have sent agents and scouts to different stadiums and pitches or different countries to look for that someone who can replace Mo Salah. So that you cannot be you cannot be sold a player. Big money is
Nicola Pepe.
So
72 million.
You avoid to have a Nicola Pepe and Casado.
Yeah.
those I think they are. I think stupid kind of money. You know.
So would you take would you take the money and reinvest it in your backline? Would you accept it? Because
I'll give you an example. I think I'll draw my point from Coutinho's transfer. When we sold Coutinho, we managed to get Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
We managed to get Alisson
Becker. And that was the turning point. Actually, that's what I want to say. It was the turning point for you guys.
Surely, because it brought us Champions League.
Yeah.
It brought us
Premier League and a Carabao Cup,
and it has created a big Liverpool, a bigger Liverpool than that had never existed. We've got players like Virgil van Dijk who will go down into history as one of the best defenders that has ever played in the Premier League. We have Alisson Becker will go down in history as the best goalkeeper as featured in Liverpool jersey. Then even lots of other players. So if you have good scouts, and then also the sporting director is also key. If you have a good sporting director, you can go and scout out new talents. There's a Bukayo Saka in Arsenal. I think Jurgen Klopp can turn Bukayo Saka in something even bigger or something that Salah has done. Because we see him, he has the talent.
Yeah. Actually, I was watching TalkSport on Monday, and the debate was about Liverpool turning down 200 million. And I think it was Graham Souness who said something very interesting. He said, why don't you get 200 million and deposit 120 million on Bukayo Saka? I don't think Arsenal can turn out that much. I don't think they can. You deposit 120 million on Bukayo Saka, you keep the extra change, you get a centre back, business well done.
Yeah. Actually, that would be a good business because Bukayo Saka is 21 years of age, still big time ahead of him. He can deliver. He has the statistics. He has the talent. He can do. But
and his English as well, so he's got the media on his side.
Although he hasn't reached that Mohamed Salah level, but at least he can reach on that level. He can reach on that level as long as he's under a good manager. Because we have seen him at his age, he's one of the key players at the English, at the national team. Somebody they are building on. So you can use that money to go, even if it's not Bukayo Saka. I know there are so many other good players out there that somebody can look out, because we all didn't know how Mohamed Salah could turn out to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
When things didn't go well at Chelsea and he went into AS Roma, and definitely when he came to Liverpool, then he turned everything. He
became a much better player. He was a much better player.
So as long as we use the money quite well, because that is huge money.
Yes,
and Mohamed Salah would also think that let me go to Arab and also make some good money, because actually they were giving him the salary we give him on a weekly basis. They were offering him to give. They were offering it on actually per day. Yeah, he was going to be given that money every day, which we give him on a weekly basis. So
there's a lot of money there to be made. So how do you replace Mo Salah? That's a big one. You could definitely go Karo Mitoma class. He's done it in the Premier League. You could go Leon Bailey. You could go for players like Jared Bowen. I don't know whether you really rate him that much. You could also go. How about we go for a young player? We talked about Saka, but someone who's literally not in the limelight. So you got 30 million, 40 million. Do you think Liverpool are ready to lose another key player like Mo Salah and then wait for another 1 year, 2 years for a player to develop? Or you've got to go, we lost Salah for 100 million, we're going to sign in a player like Karo Mitoma for 100 million.
I think it should be like, if you have lost Mo Salah, you should go for a player who is almost into that caliber. Definitely you should go for a Bukayo Saka.
At that level.
Because if you are thinking of competing with Manchester, with Arsenal, or competing with Real Madrid, because that's a no with these big teams. But with the way how Liverpool operates, it's like for them, they are willing. Actually, it's Liverpool is a team that can give out a whole season because the player is injured.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen it.
Absolutely.
Navigator, they say, we won't sign this player. Knowing that the player is not going to
come back.
But they say, no, let us give up this season and we wait for the other season. Yes, we're just going into the new season, but they definitely give it up. So I won't be shocked if they bring in some other player who is not known, and maybe they say, let us give him 2 or 3 seasons, then he will definitely deliver. But with that, you are not sure that within those 2 or 3 seasons, he will definitely become someone you wish him to be. So you are not so sure. You are not. It's not a guarantee, but it's better you go for a player that you know that he has shown the potential already. A player that at least is tested and tried. Then definitely you know the results will be coming, and then competing, you won't go down again. Yeah, but sure. you continue where you set the levels.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Mo Salah and the debate, of course, it continues until the Saudi Arabian market closes officially. It is closed for now, but of course it will be open again until the league crashes. I don't think it's going to crash very soon because they still have that World Cup they're trying to target, so they will be attracting more players for marketing.
2026 World Cup?
2026, I think. Yeah. So it's going to take some time. It will take some time.